Well, hello everybody, welcome to Robert's train set. And as you've just seen, it's not even 60 degrees up in this loft at the moment, and it's about 8:45 on a Sunday. So I don't really want to make a lot of noise, obviously, and the trains aren't running and I've not even gotten connected yet. But I'm up here to start doing some of me, hopefully me points, or rather my point that has refused to work properly, to see if I can sort it out. And if you remember, in the last one I said I'd bought some of these, hadn't I? Now if we let that focus, you can see I've written some words on that. So they're the numbers, 57, and there's 4 numbers on each point, decoder. And this is a simple Hornby one. And if you notice, it's got a P and then S's. So that means it's set, the first one is set for a point, and then the 3 others are for signals, which will probably be retaking this first one that I've unwrapped, and it works with the battery. So that's a good start. I'm going to have a go at the point first by basically just taking it out of the coder, the point decoder that's in at the moment, and putting it in that one and giving it a new number. And then this one, I'm going to put it at the end of the big station over there where the prairie, the large prairie is sitting, because, you know, that's one to do. And I'll also do a little bit on, you know, my thoughts of fixing it through these big timbers that I'm probably going to have to do. I've had a couple of suggestions, which are fine, great, lovely, that's what you want. But first, before I do any of that, I'm going to give you a shout out. My major chap who I spoke to when I was doing the iTrains would like a shout out, and I think I owe him that. So we'll see, I'll do a little bit on that, and then we'll get into this fitting and a little bit of running. Okay, everybody? So I hope you'll stay with me, and let's see how we get on. Okay, bye. Bye. So rather than seeing my mug that you've already seen for quite a long time in this video, this is Alan's homepage, and as you can see, name and channel's Overdene Station. And if I say that he's only done 10 videos in 5 years, and I in the same sort of period has done over 400, he's not the most prolific of video makers. I think he's more into making his layouts, and the one that's the latest video is his 3rd one, I think. He sort of makes them and then not satisfied and starts again. So what I'd like you to do with this is have a look at all his videos, all 10, they won't take you very long, and just give him a subscribe to try and chivvy him up to do a bit more videoing, because he's got a lot of information in his head. Absolutely. So I'm going to show you in the next little bit a bit of his latest one, which was about a month ago, and also some of the comments he gets. Now, he doesn't get a huge amount of comments, but the comments he gets, the thing, I've been doing 400 videos and never got a comment from Chadwick Model Railways. Yeah, he has. Hover Motion I get from time to time, but he gets that as well. And you know, he's well respected, I think, in the community for the knowledge that he knows. And although he gave me great help in iTrains, he now runs Train Controller, which I was surprised to hear Chadwick Model Railways have both programs, but obviously they use Train Controller now. So what's this with iTrains, I wonder? So please give Alan a go. And it's a shame he didn't show us the building of his new layout, which is, as you'll see, pretty impressive. And, you know, if he doesn't chivvy up a bit, you can always unsubscribe, can't you? But let's give him a bit of a boost and see what he can do, shall we? Cheers, everybody. Let's get into the film.
Welcome to Overdene Station. In this video, I'm going to show you basics of train controller. This is train controller version 9. This is the layout, how to work, how it's put together. It's a double two-deck system, top deck, lower deck. So bottom is the lower deck, top is the top deck. This is the helix where it goes up and down. So what we have is two stations at the bottom station 1, bottom station 2. On the top we have 3 platforms, platform 1, 2 and 3. Set these 3 away. And then we'll do a short video of it all running. I won't talk through the video because you won't hear it when the train's running. So I'll start 3, 3, 3, 2, 3, 1. I'll start right 1, right 2, right 3, and right 4, right 4.
Well, cheers everybody, it's my cup of tea after my lunch. As you can see, I got the trains running a bit, and I hope you enjoyed that bit of shout out for Alan there. Let's give him some support, and hopefully we can entice him into doing a few more videos than he has done over the last 5 years. That's all I'll say. But yeah, give him a go, give him a subscribe, and we'll see if he ups the pace a bit. Because I don't think 10 videos in 5 years is actually going quite hard, is it? You know, if he does, stay with him. If he doesn't, unsubscribe. It's as simple. It gives a message, doesn't it? So, but he's a great chap, and he's got a lot of knowledge. His bonce is full of a lot of knowledge that I don't even understand. So, as you saw from his train controller, desktop, blimey. So, right, so here we are now, and we're going to go and have a look at, first of all, the point that was playing up, and has been playing up ever since you did it. Did I fix it? And if I have, why? What was wrong with it? And then I'll just show you the signals, and I've now got all the signals in that I'm going to put in, and you know, I'm happy with it actually. It's all working. And yes, I still have got those same locos on and trains that I ran in the clock running. But Kelly's asked to see, wondered whether I still had Mallard. And yes, I have, and I'll show her running with a break of coaches at the end. Okay, everybody? So let's get on to this, well, maintenance initially, and then new stuff. So you've seen all the signals, and I'll show you where I put them in the end. So, cheers, bye. So the errant point is in this decoder box here, and I've always suspected it's something to do with that. But to change it or put it there, I've got to sort out all these wires, which isn't too difficult. But yeah, it looks a bit of a spaghetti junction, doesn't it? And this is where the new one's going. So it's actually up the other end of where the other one was, on the width of the layout at the very end, so I don't have to get right underneath. It's a lot easier. This is the cable that comes with the decoder to plug it into the power, and I've used it, and you know, I've had to cut it obviously. And to do that and to strip back, I use these DC Concepts strippers. They're magic, absolute 20 quid's worth, best ever price. Makes everything so easy. And as you can see, you can just split your buzz wires to bare the wires without cutting them. And then obviously with the cable coming from the points decoder, just strip the ends off like that, which you use the same bit of equipment. And and then obviously what you do is you wrap them around nice and tight around that cable, and obviously the best practice is to solder these. Now I don't do it straight away. I'll wait until I've got a few and try and do them. So just temporarily I'll put a bit of masking tape to stop them shorting on each other. You know, it's easy enough to rip off, isn't it? So let's get iTrains running. And see where we get to then. And this is a new point, so you have to just change the number, and there it is. So everyone, this was the errant point, and as you see it now, if a train came from the direction that I'm filming from, i.e. to go around into the station there where the prairie is, it wouldn't change. So instead of the prairie train going around there, it would go up there, and there's the HSTs behind there. It's not good, so I used to have to just switch this. So I've changed over this the Hornby decoder for the points. Does it work? Let's have a look. So I'm going to leave this like this, and I'll run the prairie round. And hooray, it did it. That's the first time I've had a train coming from this direction where it's actually worked. So that is absolutely superb. I'm really, really, really pleased. With the prairie train still running above, this was the box that was originally connected into. And it's now moved, as you saw, down to there. It's a bit dark. And I've just moved the wires over and connected it into the buzz wires, as you saw, and yeah, it's working. So there must have been just something in here that wasn't switching one way. It would work every other way, just that bit. So crazy. So sorted, great. So I can get on now with the signals. So time yet again for a cup of mug of tea, and I need the old owl for this lot, don't I? So that's what I've got. And here's the first signal that I've put in. So I'm just going to show you a little bit on me fitting this. Not a lot. I mean, it's pretty straightforward, to be honest, isn't it? You know, but hope you enjoy it. So because I use Conti board for my baseboard, it's quite hard. So it's a free drill bit to do this, just to make it easier, I think. So I used a very small one just to start the hole. I use a 10mm twist bit to get it underneath the surface of the Conti board Formica surface, and then I use this rather long speed bit. Now you might notice I've got a bit of tape round there, and that length from the tape to the bottom of the drill is the depth that I've drilled through, and the tape gives you a good idea to know when you're nearly through, and then you can feel the point through the bottom of the wood and then just drill up from above, from below, so that you don't break it all out. If you didn't know where you were going, you just keep going and suddenly go straight out the bottom. So there's my hole. Now yes, you might say it's a little bit big, and it is 10mm. I did think I had a bit that was 6mm, which would be probably the smallest you'd get, but I can't find it. That's the trouble with being a joiner and having so many flaming tools. And if I show you underneath, as you can see, a nice neat hole in the centre of the timber. And I've decided to do it straight through because A, it's simpler and it gives you access underneath, so it's not a problem. So one of the suggestions I got was to go at an angle, which like this. And yeah, it works, but you don't quite know where you're going to come out inside, and also it's quite a big hole, isn't it? You know, so maybe not ideal. This is an idea I had, is drill in with a bigger bit into the back of the timber and then drill down into it. But again, you've got problems probably fishing the wires through, so I've done what I did. So I think now I'll just retest the light to make sure it's working and feed my wires through, and I'm not going to pin it. I've got some black tack, haven't I, which is really sticky. So I'm going to use that. I've used it on the one over the far side where I turned it round, which I'll show you a bit later on when we get this one going. So there we are. So you know, you hide the big hole with the light, and I think it's fairly neat, isn't it? You know, so to keep calling it signals, wouldn't I, instead of lights. So here's the other decoder. Now I've fitted this at the far end of the layout, so the opposite end to the one with the point on it, and as you can see, that was all in lights and signals, no point on it. And the reason is it's getting really full of wires underneath this layout, and it's just easier to get at, to be honest. And yeah, you have to drill big holes through to get your wires, but it's not a problem really. I had to sort of divert a few so that I could put that decoder there, and it seems to work quite well. You know, you don't really want to go rummaging around in a lot of wires because you're going to pull something out. So there we are, all neatly in, and I've actually got that first signal in. And again, just take the cable going with it and connect it into the buzz wire that were conveniently there. So I've just done this bit of film to show the 101 coming out. This was a bit that really caused me problems because as that came out, the point that the large prairie is coming up to, and you can see the new light there, I've turned it round and put it on this track rather than the track coming out from behind the station. It wouldn't change in time, and because it gets locked, and then obviously the prairie would go up and try and have a kiss with the HST. So I'm pleased with that. Done well. So here's a closer view of the light changing, and it goes green as it comes onto this block, you know, and then as it pops onto the point, it'll go to red again. It's working well. Happy with that. And then for the next light, I thought I'd go behind the back scene, and this is obviously at the beginning of the viaduct, and as they come onto the curb bit through the tunnel, they change the signal, and then as they go back onto this flat bit, it goes to red again. So that's worked quite well. Now, I've got the HST running the opposite direction, like I did with the prairie, and got a signal here, look, where the beginning of the fiddle yard, the small fiddle yard is. So it comes on and it goes off as it changes onto the next block. So there's 3 done. So now the next one is at the end of the platform there, you know, the little corner platform. I've got one at the sort of the anti-clockwise direction, but now I've got one at the clockwise, which was a bit of fun putting it in, but I've got it there. And you obviously have to check that trains aren't going to bang into them. As you see, it's working, so I'm quite happy with that, I must admit. So I've also put one, I've changed the signal that is now changing for the 101 to go, and that used to do both the main line and the base station. And I'm going to run the 101 onto the other mainline track and stop it in the station again. And you'll see as it sets off, now the other signal changes, but the base station one stays red, which is what it's meant to do. So I still haven't got one for the siding part or the bypass for the goods, but there we are. So I'm getting on. Now you might be wondering why I didn't put one at the beginning of this junction here, which I thought I said I might. But if I show you underneath, I just bottled out. I'm sorry, I'm just not going to try and drill a hole into all this, and I'm not going to, you know, loosen it all up so I can get a hole, because it'll be right underneath that decoder box and it might start causing problems. So I thought I'll just leave the Hornby signal there. But yeah, you can see it's quite congested there because it's all coming from the big fiddle yard, of course, you know, it all comes into this bit. So now just to finish off for Kelly, let's have Mallard running.